Shirley Verrett performing that aria from Act 2 of Samson and Delilah by Saint-Saëns. Georges Pret was conducting the orchestra of La Scala Milan. As I said at the beginning, Barbara, you left Cornwall and your father's dairy behind and came to London as a young woman to work in the civil service. And I imagine a whole new cultural world opened up, because this was just after the war, and you found yourself living in North London among Eastern European and Jewish emigres.
Yes, I was lucky enough to start my life in London with a bedsit in Swiss Cottage, which was owned and run by two Jewish ladies. In Cornwall, I had never met any Jewish people at all, which is a bit surprising because still there is an 18th century Jewish cemetery in Penzance. So obviously at one stage there must have been a lot of Jewish people there, but I'd never met any. And I found that I had a really strong empathy with Jewish people. In fact, my joke nowadays is perhaps the Cornish are the lost tribe of Israel. But no, and I've got a good ear for languages anyway, like nothing to do with intelligence. It's like a parrot. I just pick them up. And I found Yiddish such colourful language. I mean, if you say to someone, you do have to give organ, for instance, I mean, it means Gandalf is a thief, but it means steal your heart out of your body with love. Oh, it's wonderful.
And one of your favourite Yiddish sayings, I think, is rather appropriate for the mess we're in at the moment. Great big chopped up little pebbles. Say it in Yiddish.
Große Geheimnissaurus.
Well, we're going to hear a love song in Yiddish, originally composed for a 1932 musical, I Would If I Could, and the rough translation is, you're really swell, I have to admit you deserve expressions that really fit you, and so I've racked my brain hoping to explain all the things that you do to me.
Bist du der Schönste when. By mir bist du schön, again I'll explain. It means you're the fairest in the land. I could say Bella, Bella, even sing wunderbar. Each language only as we tell you how great you are. I try to explain. By mir bist du schön, so kiss me and see you understand. Kiss me and see you understand. Kiss me and see you understand. Die Schieße auf der Welt.
Bei mir bist du schön, a song by Jacob Jacobs and Shalom Secunda, composed in 1932 for a Yiddish language musical, I Would If I Could. And by the way, you can find details of all of the music of my guest today, Barbara Hosking, if you search for Private Passions on BBC Sounds, where you can also download hundreds of past programs. Reading your memoirs, and I really enjoyed them, Barbara, one of the things I found fascinating was your description of going to clubs in London in the late 40s. These were lesbian clubs where women danced together, and of course, reading literature about that period, it's almost all exclusively about men. You don't realise that this life was going on.
Yes, there were, occasionally there was a ladies' night at one or two of the gentlemen's clubs.
That was slightly different.
That was slightly different, but the great club was called the Gateways, and it was in Oakley Street in Chelsea. And anyone I suppose, 50 onwards may have gone there if they were gay. It was such a free, absolutely free evening. You went down the stairs with your heart beating, and to see whether there'd be anyone you know or you'd meet somebody new. And we were all young, and can I use a very old-fashioned phrase and say all different classes. That word is not used nowadays so much.
So you could have almost upper class women and prostitutes all meeting.
You could, and I was very reassured the first time I went there that there were people, relatively washed behind the ears, and it was very, very interesting because the thing that united us not only was the fact that we were lesbians, but that we were free to dance together. And if you were anywhere else, two women dancing together would either because they couldn't get a man or something like that. And although being a lesbian was never criminalized, it was ostracized.
I think it's a very fascinating social, historical observation that it wasn't actually illegal, but it was between men. And presumably that's because nobody in the sort of male-dominated hierarchy could imagine that this would be happening.
Yes.
So it's a sort of ignorance, really, and also arrogance, almost.
Yes, I think so. And there was always a story about Queen Victoria saying nonsense, it can't happen. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I would add that a group of us are plotting to get a blue plaque put outside number 3 Oakley Street to remember these women and this great moment in our lives in the 40s.
I'm on my way to the
I
park.
think it will be a revelation to many people.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely fascinating.
Okay, bye darling.
And I imagine that you would not have lasted long
1 o'clock.
in the service if they had known.
Darling, I'm driving. Bye.
Because the civil service is a much more sophisticated organisation, particularly from the security point of view, than one would have thought. I know later on when I was asked about one or two people by one or two of the people who ask these questions, and they were absolutely relaxed about whether they were gay, whether they were lesbian.
So you wouldn't have been fired necessarily?
I wouldn't have been, but on the other hand, I might not have been promoted.
Apart from all the discoveries of London nightlife, this was a period when you started going, of course, to concerts and operas.
Yes.
And that brings us to your next choice, a Strauss opera.
Yes.
Ariadne of Naxos. And I think there's another nice story about how you came to see this, wasn't there? There was a friend of yours who worked with John Lewis.
That's right. And she was head of what in the stage we call head of personnel. One of the things John Lewis did, I don't know whether they do these things today, but the partnership wholly supported financially the Boyd Neal String Orchestra, for instance. They gave large donations, financial donations to Glyndebourne and other things. In fact, they even put on their own opera.
These pylons here on the right are to do with the early warning system during the Cold War, because if the Russians were going to attack the United Kingdom with nuclear weapons, we had a lot of installations, American air bases in this part of the world. And I grew up in this Cold War atmosphere where nuclear holocaust was, or the preparations for it were evident in the field around the corner from my mother's village. You know, it's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. I don't know whether it's a museum now, but there are places which you can go and visit and go down deep tunnels underground. And yet on the other side of this field, onto our left, we have one of the most gorgeous woods in the area. There's a footpath, you could take that and you could be in heaven in that direction in a few moments on a beautiful sunny day. Today is a bit overcast, so we're just going to very quickly go to the park. It's not the amazing sunny day in the park it's been in past years. Never mind, here's the music.
And this, again, is very affirmative and in the English.
Well, in a moment, when they stop wittering on. You see, other people can witter on, and they don't get blamed for it. It's called an interview on the radio. I witter on, and I'm told I need to go to hospital. Anyway, Christine understands. I mean, you only need one person to understand, and then you can relax. And God understands, and Jesus understands, so that makes 3. got some instruments to take to John Rowe's stage. Okay, I'll be coming straight out again. Okay, thanks. Like the music? John Rowe's tent, it's up here. Yeah, I'm just dropping it. Coming back. Okay,
Helena Gruber.
I'll just be one moment. I've just got to. Okay, one moment. This is the Global Village. This is love music, hate racism. Cat Taylor, you're in the movie.
Hey, how are you? I'm missing you, Doug.
Do I get a hug?
Come on.
I can't stop. There's somebody getting cross with me about parking.
Say something.
Yeah.
Fanwell is about to go up on stage, so just stay around.
Okay. That's the great Cat Taylor. Who are you? Who are you? Do you want to go on YouTube? Woo! What's her name? Charlie! I called you a girl. I'm sorry.
That's a compliment.
Gotcha. This is the serious. Serious! Oh yeah. Yeah, like this. Good to see you. Oh, good. Yeah.
You're okay, yeah?
Good, good.
Good, yeah, yeah.
I'm putting this on YouTube. Anything you want to say about the May Day? Love music, hate racism.
Yeah, man, conquer.
Yeah, man!
Yes! Tell them everything safe.
Where's my hat? Where's my hat? What's your name?
Cosmin.
It's the British Brainwashing Corporation.
Man,